Which is the better mineral sunscreen for you? We're going to find out. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel or welcome back. I am Britt. If you're new here, I've created the Style Shaker. Over the past 7 years, I've reviewed thousands of products, so you have a better idea of what to buy and what not to buy. That's kind of what I wish I had when I was starting out in this world of cleaner, greener, beauty, skincare, hair care, you name it. The brands have not paid me to say the following. This is not sponsored. You're getting my honest review here always. The INNBEAUTY product was sent to me by the brand. I was under zero obligation to review it. The KINSHIP I purchased. This is their SPF 60. They also have an SPF 32. For INNBEAUTY projects, mineral sunscreen, I have this in fair medium. Links to everything that I mentioned will be below in the description, by the way. This is $35. You get 1.7 fluid ounces. You get 1.7 fluid ounces in KINSHIP as well. KINSHIP is $30. $5 less, you're getting the same amount of product. There are two shades. I just need to hold these. I keep putting them down. Keep picking them up and putting them down. I feel like freaking Vanna White. There are two shades available in the INNBEAUTY. They claim to be pretty universal shades. This is sheer, so it's a sunscreen. I think it follows up on that. SPF 43 in the INNBEAUTY, PA+++, UVA, UVB protection, and blue light protection. That's the difference. The KINSHIP doesn't have that currently. 14.28% non-nano zinc oxide. Let's talk about the lineup for the KINSHIP. Okay, so this is, again, SPF 60. There's no PA rating. I think there's a lot of misinformation. So I'm not going to dive too much into the PA++++ rating. I have linked to it back on the site. I've done the research myself. Check it out for yourself. UVA, UVB protection, and 24% non-nano zinc oxide. By the way, I do have full scorecards for both of these products, so I'm going to cover the high level here. There's a lot more detail back there, as well as alternate sunscreens that you might want to check out if you're still on the hunt, or you can check out the playlist over here, which will also be linked and pop up at some point in this video. Next, I want to talk about ingredients. This is a big differentiator between the two products. The INNBEAUTY product claims to be non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic, acne safe. So this is claiming to be better for people who suffer from acne. Vegan, cruelty-free. The big callouts here are the antioxidant, blue light protection, peptides to plump, and moisturizing ingredients. This does contain quite a few silicones and quite a few polymers. These are things that I am trying to move away from because my skin doesn't like them. However, the texture of a silicone feels amazing going on. I am not villainizing this ingredient. I just don't like them on my skin. If we can get away from them and more plastic-ish things, that'd be great. But again, I'm not the expert there. You can make your own ultimate decisions. So skincare-esque ingredients inside of this formula. You're seeing vitamin C. You're going to see lactic acid lower on the list. Niacinamide is up in here, which is exciting because that can brighten. So can vitamin C. It can also irritate vitamin C. And I don't know how stable it is. Like, how much does it take to irritate? These are when the questions of skincare meets sunscreen. Like, would I use this as my only skincare? Personally, no. Am I mad that they have peptides in here? No. I think that's fine. And in terms of the packaging, I got a little hung up on the packaging here. They claim to be plastic negative. What they're saying is for every unit sold of this product, they remove 2 units of nature-bound plastic waste from the environment to be recycled and repurposed. I think it's great that they're taking these additional steps. But if you're putting out what I think is net new plastic, because they haven't told me otherwise, isn't it a net? I'm not trying to attack the brand. I just don't understand the sustainability thinking there from a consumer's perspective who is not a sustainability expert. Not wowed is what I'm saying. KINSHIP's formula. If you're trying to avoid silicones and polymers, this is the short story. This is going to be the formula for you. But I'll talk about finish and things like that in a sec. Cruelty-free, vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, water-resistant, and it's also a waterless formula. No dimethicone. There's only one polymer at the end, so you will still be getting that, but it's all the way at the lower end of that ingredients list, so hopefully a smaller amounts inside. Not always the case, but one can dream. And then you have things that it's mixed with. There's a lot of hydrating stuff in here, so from shea butter to sunflower seed oil. They also have a cherry seed ferment, so that's kind of an interesting thing. It's a postbiotic, interesting technology there in the formula. So while INNBEAUTY was talking about plumping, hydrating, and protecting from environmental stressors, what I'm seeing mostly with KINSHIP is building the skin barrier and hydrating. Skincare ingredients in here, ceramides. I saw a lot more natural, I hate that word natural, but recognizable hydrating emollients inside of this formula that I could understand. I knew we're going to be moisturizing to the skin compared to INNBEAUTY. Packaging, the tube is made, and this is clearly stated so beautifully on their websites, 50% PCR, post-consumer recycled material. Tell you what each component is. They tell you how to appropriately recycle them if you can recycle them. They talk about how their shipping materials use FSC certified paper. They're setting the bar. They're setting the bar. This is the information that consumers want to see, I believe. So thank you to KINSHIP for doing that. It's amazing. Application. There's really very little white cast with both of these. I would say there's less white cast with the INNBEAUTY as opposed to KINSHIP. INNBEAUTY was very, very easy to apply. The claims held up very well for me. It is lightweight. It is not oily. There's a creaminess to it. The silicones and polymers and things like that really are known to help texturally, in my opinion. Glides on, gives a subtle glow. There's a glow, a subtle glow. I mentioned subtle because this one isn't, and doesn't feel like a grease lick on top of my skin, which is a bonus because sometimes that happens. So the KINSHIP, it's silkier, I would say, than the INNBEAUTY, which is interesting because there's no silicones in this one. Usually that's something I get with silicones. A little goes a long way. However, you don't want to skimp on sunscreen. So if you're putting the liberal amount on that you need to for protection that is recommended by these brands, this is going to get pretty dewy on you. It's beautiful and glowy and like plump and juicy. Some people love it. Some people are very well over that look. So it just depends on what you want. For the touch test, I could feel this a little bit more on my skin throughout the day than I could the INNBEAUTY. Compared to other SPFs and mineral sunscreens, it was still lighter weight than most that I've tried. Scent, barely there for INNBEAUTY, very subtle. That's what they claim. They're like, it's not going to be a strong scent at all. There's no sunscreen scent. You're not going to get any of that, which is pretty phenomenal. KINSHIP, if you like vanilla, you're going to like this. I don't think it's overwhelming, but some of you might find it to be overwhelming if you're extra sensitive with your sniffers. You don't like that kind of thing. That might be a ding for you with the KINSHIP product. Finish on these. Both are giving you the glow. You're probably looking at this because you potentially want a mineral sunscreen that gives a little bit of glow. Could you tamper that down with a little bit of setting powder? Yeah, it happens to be one of my favorite things to do in summer. The combination of a glowy sunscreen, isn't oily, then I can put some kind of a setting powder or really light dusting of a powder foundation, press it in, and I'm good to go. I get coverage, glow, sun protection all in one. Kind of love doing that on lighter makeup days, or if you're going for fuss-free, both of these are going to give you that glow. And the cool part about the glow is that it reflects. So if you have redness like I do here, then it's going to reflect against the light, and there's some sort of natural evening out that happens. It's an illusion. Overall, I feel like the dewiness factor on KINSHIP is higher than INNBEAUTY. That's what I saw on my skin. In terms of applying makeup on top of it, it depends on what you use. So the INNBEAUTY is water first. The KINSHIP is waterless. Should mean theoretically that oil-based products would also work well with this. Potentially not as well with this. It depends on how you apply it as well. They both worked pretty well. The only thing is the KINSHIP was pretty glowy, so I couldn't use anything that had more dewiness to it or else it was like too much. So you got to take that into consideration. And the scores, INNBEAUTY has a 17 out of 20. I am really truly considering adding a line to the scorecard that's for sustainability. I'm going to have an expert on my podcast before I do that, so I know more about what I'm talking about. But if that was the case, then I think this would have scored lower. Performance-wise, this is a great product. You have to be okay with silicones and polymers though. The KINSHIP got a 15 out of 20, mostly due to the touch test that I talked about and mentioned over here. But it's a beautiful product. It's an amazing company and I love what they're doing. So these are both really, really strong mineral sunscreens that you can check out. Again, you can get this in an SPF 32 if you don't want the 60. And I think that should give you a better sense of which one could work best for you. I have plenty more details back on scorecards, back on the website. Which one would you pick out of these two? Or do you have a mineral sunscreen that you love? If you do, if you can leave a comment with whatever that product is below. What's your favorite right now? Why is it your favorite? What kind of skin do you have? I think it's really helpful over here and it kind of helps this community figure it out as well. So it's not just an opinion of one. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. It makes a huge difference over here. I will see you right back here real soon. Until then, bye.